What's up, Disney dudes and dudettes? In this video, we'll be talking about what if Disney made The Wizard of Oz coming up. So as we have discussed in previous Disney videos, that Walt Disney had quite a fond fascination with that of classic literature and that of fairy tales. There happens to be one that he absolutely wanted to make into a Disney animated film, and that is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. Walt Disney loved The Wizard of Oz so much because, growing up in Kansas, this was very, near and dear to his heart. And he actually was so determined to make this his full-length animated film. Now, the only problem and the reason why they never did this was because of the fact that he waited too late. The rights to The Wizard of Oz were sold to none other than MGM, who produced the 1939 classic that we know and love today. But the actual writer of the original Wonderful Wizard of Oz loved Walt Disney's Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs so much that he actually gave Walt the rights to the remaining books. Walt was actually wanting to do something later on in years with the Mickey Mouse Club that was going to be called the Rainbow Road to Oz, which was essentially a sequel to that of the Wizard of Oz, and it would actually have the cast and crew from the Mickey Mouse Club. But due to the fact of people not really liking the storyline and just conflicts, they ended up not doing that. And this actually kind of merged into the Babes in Toyland movie, and you can actually start to see a lot of the direction and also that of inspiration from the Rainbow Road to Oz concept. So I thought to myself, what would a Disney-fied version of The Wizard of Oz look like if it was animated in the 1930s in the style of that of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? So in this video, I'm going to give you guys not just concept art and not even just the storyline. You guys are going to see a 4-minute, made by yours truly, concept trailer of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz Disney version. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so the story has got to start off with a Disney book. Every single Disney fairy tale since that of Snow White has a storybook reveal at the very beginning that leads into the movie. And since The Wizard of Oz is based off a book and is also a fairy tale, it seems quite fitting to have it be a storybook at the beginning of the movie. So the story starts off with once upon a time, there was a young girl named Dorothy Gale who lived in Kansas with her Uncle Henry and Aunt Em. She dreamed of a land beyond the rainbow. We're then introduced to Dorothy, kind of like Snow White, where she's at the wishing well, just dreaming and wishing for a better life, and Toto right beside her. And this leads into the Disney-fied version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, as Dorothy dreams of the land beyond that of her humble farm. Then out of nowhere, a crazy tornado comes out of nowhere, destroying everything in its path and through the town. And so Dorothy tries to get to the shed, but unfortunately there's no one there, no Aunt Em or Uncle Henry, and so then the shed is destroyed, and so she ends up running into the house to try and seek shelter. And then all of a sudden, all the furniture is flying around in the room, and it's a literal twister. And then Dorothy is trying to navigate it all with Toto and is quite frightened by the twister in her room. We then fade to black, and then all of a sudden, Dorothy shows up in the land of Oz, being surrounded by that of the Munchkins and the town. She realizes that they are definitely not in Kansas anymore. And then here comes floating down in her bubble, that of Glinda the Good. And then she says her iconic line, "Are you a good witch or a bad witch?" And Dorothy's like, "Who, me? Why, I'm not a witch at all." And then Dorothy gets the red slippers. And then here comes the witch. And she, says, "I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too." And then, disappears in a big puff of smoke. And then we get to see the Scarecrow, and then, of course, the Tin Man, and then the Cowardly Lion when they're in the forest. And then we then see the witch is planning to, with her flying monkey, just to try and distract the group and really catch them off guard. We then see a scene of the Wicked Witch doing the poppy seeds like in the movie, trying to put them to sleep before they reach Emerald City. And then, of course, they fall asleep and are wakened up by the snow thanks to Glinda. And then, finally, they make their way to the land of Oz, of Emerald City, and are actually confronted by the wizard, who says to bring back the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West, and they would have their heart's desires answered. So then we then see a shot of, Dorothy being captured by the Wicked Witch of the West, saying, "Give me the slippers or your friends and Toto will die." She then blasts Dorothy with a big fireball, only to be stopped by Dorothy's shoes. Yep, Dorothy's shoes absolutely have a big power up in this version of the story. You could kind of think of this as Dorothy's Captain Marvel moment when she has the big power up at the end, but Anyway, so then the Cowardly Lion, the Tin Man, and that of the Scarecrow all come in, breaking down the door saying, "Let her go, witch." And then only realizing that Dorothy is really holding her own against the witch. But then suddenly the group is cornered by her with the even bigger fireball. And when all hope seems lost, it's up to Toto to save the day. And let's just say Toto really had to go. And so, after that, the witch melts, the group sees this in horror, and then, Dorothy grabs Toto saying, "Oh, Toto, you saved us." And the Tin Man, iconically says, "Well, I guess when you have to go." And then they go back to Emerald City, and Dorothy says, "We brought you the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West." Toto melted her. Toto then pulls back the curtain, revealing the man behind the curtain. Dorothy and her friends see the room where he has all the technical stuff and the projections and are absolutely, completely angry and just overall just disappointed in the fact that he's not real. He then admits that he is a fraud, and then Glinda shows up to be able to take Dorothy home. They have one big final hug goodbye as Dorothy is told by Glinda to click her heels 3 times, saying there's no place like home. Dorothy then wakes up and realizes she still has the red ruby slippers, only to realize that it was actually real all along. She's then greeted by her friends in the real world. The one that the Scarecrow says, "We were with you the whole time, Dorothy." So it was actually real. This is the biggest plot twist of all. We then see one final scene of Glinda, and she says it to the camera, holding the Wicked Witch of the West's hat, "Finally, the competition is gone. Oz is mine." So this sets up a potential sequel of Glinda being the big bad. I don't know about you guys, but I can definitely envision this, and I would absolutely love to see this happen. So without further ado, here is my concept trailer of The Wizard of Oz by Disney. Take a look.
Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Dorothy Gale who lived in Kansas with her Uncle Henry and Aunt Em.
Someplace where there isn't any trouble. Do you suppose there is such a place, Toto? Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. Auntie Em! Auntie Em! Toto, I've a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. A good witch or a bad witch? Who, me? Why, I'm not a witch at all.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too. You'll pay for this!
That way is a very nice way, except it's the other way. I shall take the heart, for brains do not make one happy, and happiness is the best thing in the world. You're right, I'm a coward. I haven't any courage at all. I even scare myself.
Nico, I've sent the bugs on ahead to take the fight out of them. Poppies will put them to sleep. Sleep! Now they'll sleep!
I'm so sleepy, I just have to rest for a minute.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Bring me back the broomstick of the Witch of the West, and you will have your heart's desires.
Give the slippers, or your dog and friends will die. Your choice, my pretty. They belong to me! Give them back!
Stand back, you witch! Let her go!
I'm melting! Melting! Oh,
What a world! What a world!
Oh, Toto, you saved us.
Well, I guess when you gotta go.
We've brought you the broomstick of the Wicked Witch of the West. Toto melted her.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain!
I'm afraid it's true. I'm a humbug.
Oh, you are the best friends a girl can have. I'll miss you all so much.
Then close your eyes and click your heels together 3 times.
Okay. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. It was real?
We were right here with you the whole time, Dorothy.
Finally, the competition is gone. Oz is mine.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. And if you would love to see a Wizard of Oz part 2, or just if you have any suggestions about future Disney videos, I would love to know. Leave a comment down below, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so you can be notified every Thursday when we have a new video. And as always, have a Disney day.